So I wanted to share to you guys. I kind of did some stuff to the 40 gallon, and this tank's looking weird on this camera, but it's actually crystal clear right now. I don't know what all this fog action is. This camera's not the best, but as you see, it's clear. It's just when you this light just when you get too far away, it just starts looking weird. But I guess that's besides the point. So as you can see, I mean, you might notice now there's a lot, it seems like a lot more action going around or swimming around in this tank. Well, this tank, as I kind of watch it, I don't know, we bought all those fish, we spent like $100 restocking this tank, and I don't know, it's just kind of like it's just like everything disappeared. Like I thought I had a bunch of fish in here, like nothing died, I don't think, but like, cause I usually watch that pretty closely, cause if something dies, I usually try to remove it. But I don't know. I guess it's just whatever. I still all the stuff that I bought is still in here. Like some of these pork chops, and they're all in here. It just seems like I have like no fish again. So I just went out, even though probably didn't need it. I bought basically every neon tetra they had at this pet store, and basically just got a big old school going in here. Um, I would say there's about little over 20 in here, so really good sized schooling group. If you want like really good schooling action, you can see neon tetras. Once they get comfortable, they're really just once they get comfortable in the tank. Neon tetras tend to spread out, and they're not they'll still school, but they just mostly swim around. But they're still it's really cool to have still a big group. They did have a bunch of rummy noses, and I was tempted, but they wanted like $4 a piece, and I wasn't really feeling, especially when I didn't really want to spend anything in the first place, so I wasn't feeling that. But neon tetras, they're like 3 for $5, usually about what they cost here, so wasn't bad. So I just basically bought all of them that they had, and that's what I did. So I got over 20, which is really good school. Um, I don't know the exact amount, to be honest, because I don't know what was in here before, so I'd have to count them all up. But there's definitely like over 20 in here, so that makes a really good group. When people say at least six, that's I would say the minimum eight if you really want, it's really some schooling action. But especially out of other fish like rummy noses, they're more of a schooling fish more than neon tetras will, but they'll still do the same. It's just rummy noses are a little bit tighter. Um, but if you really want, some really cool schooling, I would say 20 plus, even probably 3 dozen. Get 36. Stuff like that. That would really. It looks cool, but sometimes your tank isn't big enough, and especially if you have a bunch of stuff already in it. But if you're doing like kind of a couple species, like this tank doesn't have a lot of species, so I was able to get basically a lot in here, so it looks pretty cool now. When you kind of stand back, you got a lot of neon tetras in here. So it kind of just made this tank more interesting. But I guess for an update on the other fish, the Plecto doing quite fine. He's been kind of changing colors. Like he's been this brown color, which is pretty common for them to change colors when they get stressed and stuff. But he's actually been staying this color for like the past week. Have to keep up on that, but he's doing fine, nice and healthy. He's the oldest fish I've ever kept, so Big Daddy's doing fine. I don't think he's dying anytime soon. He's went through already so much stuff, and he's still here, so I don't see anything changing. But removing the plants update, like I actually discussed like how the sand for the people that watched that video, how the sand self levels, and this is kind of I didn't really get to show you when it happened, but you can see now it's like basically all self leveled. Because I kind of discussed in the last video that how you don't really have to make it all pretty, because usually the sand will or the water will get it self leveled, and that's what happened here. You can see now it's all nice and smooth on the bottom. Plecto does that too. He kind of shifts around the sand and actually makes it pretty flat, which is nice. I don't know if all Plectos do that. That's mine does for some reason. He likes to smooth out the sand and do all kinds of stuff with it. But yeah, I really like this tank. Or at least now I do. Got a lot of. It'll be fun to feed it, which we'll probably feed it right now. Let's see, because I haven't actually fed these fish yet. Because I got them yesterday night. So I might feed them here in a second, or at least, I guess why not feed them right now? We got nothing else to talk about, so I'll be right back with the fish food. So, okay, before this camera dies, got some frozen bloodworms. Got some feeding. I don't know if the other fish will eat or not. They're... Oh yeah, they are. So to kind of just end off this video, get a little feeding. And there goes the bloodworms. I really like frozen food. At first I never used frozen bloodworms like a couple years ago, and now that's like all I feed. I usually just feed if I do dry food, it's usually the fluval bug bites, and if I do frozen, it's I got like 5 different frozen foods. So blackworms, bloodworms, mysis shrimp, and then clams, half on the clams, or clams on the half, meant to say, for the puff row there. But yeah, it looks like all the fish are eating, at least what I've been seeing. They're all going crazy. Yeah, sorry, it's not in focus. While we kind of let the fishes eat, little updates. Been kind of researching, the story lately. Just kind of, doing more research and kind of studying up on everything, the permits. Just kind of getting aware of what I'm getting into. Obviously, I've been talking to Aquarium Co-op a little bit, just getting some ideas. And yeah, to me, it's gonna look like it's gonna cost about 400,000 to build, at max. Could be more, honestly. It could be 500,000, but that'd be the max at all. But what I've been figuring, for 400 to 500,000, which is a lot, but we might be able to shrink it down a little bit and work with it, because there's some areas that I could shrink down and it'd be perfectly fine. So my range is about 200,000. That's what I want to be able to, 200 to 250,000. That's my max on having the whole inside and outside complete, which is pretty good price. But that's just a little update on the cost, except I didn't say it in the other video. But other than that, so this video is definitely forever long. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.